don't give up. Keep pushing. We're almost there. And she's like, everyone, shut the fuck up. Stop talking to me. Let me do this. And I'm like, listen. I was like, you need, like, I stopped the test. I'm like, first off, don't ever talk to me this way. It is my job to push you. Like, don't tell me to shut the fuck up. Don't try to control the situation. Like, I am guiding you through this, and I need you to push all the way through. And then she started arguing. She's like, yeah, but I don't like when people are talking in my ear. It fucking annoys me. And to me, that was it. I was like, you know what? You have a serious ego issue. You are not coachable. Like, we're not going to work together. If you're going to get mad and snappy because you're tired on a row machine test, like, this is a huge character flaw. Like, you're not going to push yourself. You're not going to, like, we're done. And I was done after that. We never worked with her again. Told her to leave. You know, and shit happens.
I always bring it up, and so I sound like a broken record for anyone who's watched a few of these episodes now, but the tie between the emotional drive, as we've called it, but just sort of like the emotional vigor and the results is huge. And I feel like the nervous system training weeds that out.
Yeah, but the cardio testing, you figure out who actually wants to be a professional and who just wants to have a fight.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of fighters, so I've worked with some fighters that were great. They bust their ass, and it's usually college wrestlers that transition MMA are phenomenal to work with. Like, they get it. They've been through the system. They know how to shut the fuck up and work hard and get the job done. Usually the guys that come off the street, you know, that are really into like fighting, they're street fighters they usually have a lot of emotional issues. They fall apart. They fall apart the moment it gets really hard. You know, they just want to have a fight and feel like a badass. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But getting through this, let's get back on topic. You know, kind of went through a little bit of a rant with my previous training experience. It gets really annoying. But with BJ, they ran him through the cardio training, and they also put a heart rate monitor on him, and they had him go through rounds of sparring. What is his heart rate doing through grappling? What is his heart rate doing through mitt work? And when they do that, they can figure out which areas of the fight are taxing him the most. And once you figure that out, that's when you realize, okay, these are the areas we have to double down on. There's another part of the nervous system training protocol that's really hard on athletes. Is a lot of athletes will veer away from their weaknesses and really double down on their strengths. That will eventually cost you. Especially as a pro, that will cost you a huge paycheck sooner or later. And so when you figure out where things are going wrong, now you know how to organize his cardio training and his training protocol based on a proper assessment. You have a real blueprint you can work with. Most gyms, even the best gyms in the world, like when I see footage at AKA, when I see footage at American Top Team, they're just running random circuits, doing random cardio training, random strength and conditioning, no data, no assessments, no direction. They're just throwing shit at the wall hoping it sticks. And these are world-class gyms. World-fucking-class gyms. You know, and they're just running it freaking Bush League style.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why the guys who go through the nervous system training system and really go through it, like Rafael dos Anjos, Dominic Cruz, BJ Penn, I don't really exactly count George St. Pierre because he kind of leaned off. He did it just for his physical therapy. But these three examples, these guys that really ran through the system, they dominated. Their performances were through the roof in a relatively short amount of time. And this is why I'm such a proponent for this training system. I have never seen a training system take a guy, especially someone like Rafael dos Anjos, take him from being an average to, you know, above average fighter to world champion in a year.
Yeah.
Complete transformation in a matter of months. Complete transformation. BJ Penn, in a 3-month camp, he was a totally new fighter. Faster, more explosive. He wasn't getting tired in rounds. You know, he finished Kenny Florian, he finished Diego Sanchez. And it's not like these guys were out of shape. Kenny Florian is a super dangerous fighter. Diego Sanchez, like, no one breaks Diego. Like, he is unbreakable. You have to shut his brain down to stop him. And BJ freaking tore them to pieces. And the moment BJ Penn stopped working with Mark Brinovich, immediately reverted back to his old performances, started losing again. I've never seen a training system elevate a guy in such a short amount of time this quickly with such a significant result. I've never come across, and still haven't come across it. And I've been looking at training systems for like over 10 years. This guy is doing this training system with this coach, in Florida. He's doing this sort of like things with, I don't want to name training systems, I don't want to bash people. But you see all these different fighters, Dustin Poirier doing it with, a particular coach, Oliveira doing it with this coach, not seeing these kind of improvements, just not coming across it. Maybe marginal improvements, but nothing drastic, nothing career changing.
Yeah.
And this is what, and I saw this transformation. I was a big BJ Penn fan, and I'd watch BJ. I was a fan before he started doing this training, and then when he was doing the training, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like I was like, "What?" I was totally blown away. This is some crazy shit. And then after he did this training, I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like I've never seen anything like this. And then I saw it again with RDA. RDA was cool. I'd watched some of his fights. Started working with this guy named Nick Curson, and I was like, "Holy shit!" There's that fucking crazy ass training system again. And then RDA, came back, fought Nate Diaz, blew him out of the water. Fought Donald Cerrone, blew him out of the water. Fought Anthony Pettis, completely destroyed him, won the title. And I was like, dude, this is it. Like, this is it. There is secret sauce out there. And it's this fucking nervous system training. That's why I can't shut up about it. Because so people have no idea how fucking effective this is and how quickly it changes your life. Everyone is still doing these old school methods from like 50 years ago. Nothing is getting updated. And I'm just sorry. It's like saying the sky is falling and no one wants to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. I can attest. And going back to what you were saying earlier, like it's, like I've always hated lifting weights just because it's like not, mentally stimulating. The nervous system training is, what's different is that it's like fun. It's there's reactions.
Very engaging.
Yeah, exactly. There's feedback and response constantly throughout every single drill, every single movement. I think that's,
And you can feel it. When you start doing it, you can feel like, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm doing athletic shit.
yeah.
Like I feel like this is appropriate for what my goal is.
Yeah, you wake up the next day, you feel a little better, rather than like stiff and having to overcome the previous day's workout. It's like, oh, I'm a little step ahead of where I was yesterday.
Yeah, you can literally feel 1% better every time.
Yeah,
Like every time you can feel 1% better. I haven't felt that with anything, and I've done so many fucking different systems, and I still work with different systems to see if there's better shit out there. I'm not coming across it.
it's kind of like if you're really stiff and you get a either a good mobility session or if you go get a massage, like you feel different. You feel like your body functions differently. It's kind of like that, but you can do it to yourself any day of the week.
Yeah, yeah, 100. Well, that's a lot of that is the fascial rehydration you're feeling from the ball work training.
Interesting.
Yeah, like ballistic plyometric stimulus onto the muscle puts fluid back in the fascia, and that's why after the ball work, you ever feel like, oh my god, like I can fucking throw an 80-mile-per-hour fastball now.
Yeah.
Like you feel ready.
Yeah.
So so BJ, he's doing this training system. He's doing ball work training methodology. Like he's gone through his cardio training or his cardio assessment, his athletic assessment. Now it's time to do the work. And there's various different drills that the Marinoviches have accumulated over the years. There's speed and agility training. Well, Marinovich kind of invented speed and agility training. Not a lot of people know that. But Marv Marinovich, like the cone drills, the figure eight drills, the shuttle run, a lot of that shit, Marv developed the concepts for all of that. Like BJ Penn has a famous story where they were like using like the field at UCLA because Marv, I guess he's like,